OG, we OG, oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro.
Rune stuff.
Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nuki on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. Started Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and your Gobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What's up, guys? We are live for another Ordinal hour. We have an amazing show for you guys today. So there's no Yagobi, but I got my man IMSO Chris, man. Solana Chris, as many people know him. He's amazing. He has, obviously Bitmap Valley. He's a TA guy. This should be a really fun one. We're going to get into a lot of really good topics, and it's going to be really good. But before we do here, let me just hit on our man Francis here. So what's sathunter? SATHUNTER. Guys, you should submit all your stuff over there, man. We're just, we want to support our friend Francis. sathunter has the top paying referral program in the industry. When you refer a friend, you earn 50% of the service fee paid in Bitcoin. You can track everything on their dashboard. Etch Runes at sathunter.com. We have a referral link in the show notes. Use our link. It helps the show. If not, don't worry about it. But you use our man Francis. He's our guy. So definitely check out sathunter.com. Without further ado, here, let me bring in my partner. What's up, IMSO Chris? Oh, got you on mute there. That was my fault. Go ahead, man.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing today? It's fun market, huh? Fucking. I mean, come on, Hong Kong. I thought you guys had money. What the fuck is going on?
$12 million in volume. I mean, there's some dexes that do more than that, right?
I read something where the total over the first 24 hours was like 87.5 million, and
was it?
That's nothing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, in comparison, but also I don't know if it's because they're more familiar with it and it's less exciting to them. They've already had means and education and experience in buying Bitcoin. Like, think about how many Chinese people are in ordinals, for fuck's sake. Yeah. In the US, it's completely different, right? A lot of these institutions and these bigger players, or even just like old man that I met at the casino, I was explaining to him, he was like, somehow or another, I wound up learning that they had millions of dollars in property and that they were meeting with their investment advisor, and he was going to talk to him about silver or gold. 'Cause I think he asked me what I did for a living, and I said I basically gamble for a living. And that led, you know what I'm saying? And that's where I told him, like, mostly I trade things, right, on the open market or cryptocurrencies. And we had this conversation when Bitcoin was about $40,000, and I told him maybe 41, and it was right after it hit 38.5. And I told him, that 38.5 is probably pretty strong, and BlackRock's ETF being activated now opens you up for an opportunity. And he was like telling me that he was going to be meeting his financial advisor actually literally the next day, just by pure coincidence. And I said, do you have $500,000 free? He said, yeah. I said, you should buy 10 Bitcoin tomorrow. I hope that old man did. You know it? I hope he did. And he wasn't like a senile old man. He probably in his 70s. His wife was there gambling hard. He wasn't even gambling. He was just talking to me. She was gambling, not irresponsibly. They kept, every time something got caught, they were there to like win pots and pans and shit, and like the giveaway shit. Like they're just two old people, bored as shit, financially well off. So the woman gets to hammer on the thing while the old man gets to have random conversations with other men, is what it felt like. And he was very coherent, you know, to a point where I felt comfortable saying, well, you know, you've heard of Bitcoin. And, you know, he's always watching the MSNBC and this and that. And he knew what I was talking about. So I hope to fucking God that dude bought some. And just like little shit like that, it's like, you know, these are your opportunities, right? Like, sure,
Yeah.
if 61K is not the bottom, but 57K is, or 55K, those are like 3 price points that you could buy Bitcoin at. And then heaven forbid it goes to $50,000. But like, you know, it's probably not going to 38.5, right? You know, and it's likely to go to 100,000. So it's like, or higher, obviously, we believe. So I don't know, man. I feel like if I'm fucking with you, right? Like, let's just pretend I'm this omnipotent market maker that can just paint whatever picture I want. If I'm just fucking with you, I'm sending this back to 62, 63 today and just making you feel shame.
Stupid.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at least, obviously 62.5 is where you want to be, but we can talk about that more in a little bit. What about you, Runes? I mean, what happened, you know? I mean, it's exciting and there's a lot of shit that's happening, right? But like at the end of the day, I've seen some front end experiences and I've experienced a couple of things like Cube Exchange is super impressive. And we already know there's exchanges out there like MEXC and OKX that are working on direct integration. So the idea that you can treat it like Bitcoin, I think is still pretty bullish. And if we can do Bitcoin transactions, we can do Runes transactions. So it's easier.
100%. I mean, you know, from we actually talked to you that night. I bought a bunch of crap coins that went down, consolidated a lot of them into the winners, and I think that's Rune Coin and Decentralized. They're like the only two that I'm holding right now. Just because I think the risk factor is low, being number 2 and number 8 Rune, and you know, obviously Rune Coin starts trading on OKX right now. So I think that's a big deal, and its ticker is Rune Coin, RSIC. You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool. What do you think about Rune Coin, RSIC, the whole thing with those guys?
Oh, I love it. As soon as I saw it dip below 1 cent, don't care. Don't care who's behind it. I've talked to the Rune Dev guy a couple times before all this. Super nice guy, super educated. You know, we're like, I mean, dude, he's awesome, right? Like, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
And we've done some of this stuff, you know, that like the airdrops and things, and we saw him helping other projects, which I think is super nice and cool because it is tricky and it is time consuming. You know what I mean? I love the idea of how RSIC came to be. I like there's just a mystique to it that I just think it's just perfect, dude. And it inspired people like Leonidas to do Runes Dens, right?
Yep.
So as soon as I saw it dip below 1 cent on that first day or second day of the airdrops, fuck, dude. I didn't go as hard as I could have. I was thinking I should put like $50,000, like actually liquidate a couple things and just put like 50 grand in there, but I didn't. You know, I put 5 grand, but it's still, the potential is like insane, dude. I mean, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I literally thought about it. I was like, fuck, dude, but what, you know, maybe I can get it lower. I did the dumbass thing, right? Maybe I can get it lower, right? Man, I knew, dude. As soon as I saw that fucking third digit, you know what I'm saying? It was like, and it was not long, bro, before that shit was back over a penny. And it's like, yeah, I mean, it seems like a pretty high market cap, right? But as long as we just keep in mind it's fully diluted, it's totally fine to be at that market cap. And it's one of those things where it's like, hey, guys.
Yeah.
I've seen crazier shit, right?
I've actually been DCAing, man. I got about 800,000 now. Like every time it drops below that 20 sats, I pick up. I've been doing that since like Saturday or even Friday. I think I got my first one. So I got 17 different lots. Every single time it drops under that 20 sat mark.
Damn, just so everyone knows who's watching, Shizzy definitely has another wallet that none of you know about because there are tokens missing out of this wallet. That I know for sure.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is my only wallet.
That balance is about $30,000 light, bud. You know what I mean? Anyway.
But yeah,
I'm just kidding, everyone. That's all hypothetical. I'm just joking.
No,
I mean, have secret money anywhere.
I play. I like to play, but this is my my show wallet. I like this show. But this is I've been DCAing RSIC, and I had 3 Prometheans, and I was lucky enough to get 2 with 2.7, and I picked up another 300K today. So I'm sitting. I like to have I'm weird. I like to have full numbers, so that 3 million means a lot to me.
No,
I'm trying to get this to 1 million. Yeah. So. But yeah, man, I do have a bag of Intergalactic. I've been picking them up. When I saw it get to that 3 cents mark, I was like, this looks a little juicy. So I've been definitely picking up some Intergalactic in a different wallet. To your point there, but
yeah, we've got some stuff we can't really announce, but we're very excited, and we get to approach. Like I have a call at 1:00 today with some KOLs and market makers on the Europe side.
Yeah.
Because they really like the Cube Exchange layout, but for people like, brother, my token would be at 30 cents if Cube Exchange could be used by everyone. It is a perfect exchange system, and they have integrated runes better than anyone else. But the problem is Canada, India, US get declined KYC. And then I thought it was Open Roam for Chinese. It's not. Apparently, Chinese people have to buy like a Palau or a Vietnamese ID, which is apparently common practice for traders to use exchanges. But when I asked like one of the community leaders if he's ever heard of this, he goes, "Is that website legit?" I was like, bro, the person who gave it to me is fucking really legit. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I assume it's legit. So he was like, bro, we use OKX and shit without IDs. And I'm like, okay. So we're working on trying to speak. Well, I mean, I'm in a chat with one of the gentlemen who works with OKX. Eric introduced us. And I'd like to show them some stuff that we can do with the wallet and maybe how we can help position bitmaps in maybe a more positive light. I mean, OKX has so much reach. All they have to do is put out something that is, positively sentimented, and maybe there's an opportunity not necessarily to promote Bitmap Valley, but promote the idea that like bitmaps and runes do have more use cases and integrations than they think, and that they are more efficient than like a BRC20 for applications, and we could be one of many examples, right? So I want to talk to them about that approach because they have such a large audience, and we're just lucky that our ticker is 13 letters in one word, so it translates well.
Yeah,
right?
and your ticker, you're up there with the decentralized and easily the 2 best tickers. You know what I mean? So in my opinion, that are not like just memes.
They translate. That's really important whenever you're trying to reach different audiences as well. Is you need them to translate. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Let me give a quick roll call. See who's here. First is first in Bitcoin space. So my man Crypto Noob, you are number 1. Congratulations. You are the winner of today. And then we got a number 2 spot. We got Tim Bakes. Tim, AOD Art, thank you so much for being here. BitRens is in the building. BitRens says Intergalactic. I'm sure Big Renz holds a bag of your stuff, man. D Love in the building. Yazir always here. Ordinal Sweets. John, this is my favorite guy right here. Zaza is in the building. Wendy Yam, Green Man, Todor, Chief Axel, Cheedy, Ernesto Gonzalez, Ethereum Blockchain, TKO, Ant-Man, Chain Watcher. Who else? We got my man, Mr. Sheedy. I think I might have said him once already, but Sayin, Carlos. Who else? Itoshi, Cindy, Mark's here. John M, welcome to the show. Your first time here, my friend. ASO, and then we have my man Lex, and that is the roll call for today. But we're gonna jump into some TA because that's kind of what you're known for. Besides Bitmap Valley, you're known for being one of the top guys in the ordinal space with TA. So I mean, I'm just gonna throw it to you, man. It's you know, we definitely have a few things going on tomorrow. We got Jerome coming out tomorrow. He's gonna be speaking. He's gonna be potentially keeping interest rates the same. I'm hearing rumors that potentially they could come in with the election coming in and drop rates a little bit. But every single time we've dropped rates in the past, and the last big time we did that was 2019, we saw a monster dip. People think that it usually goes the other way, where if the rates drop, we fly. But in historically, every time they dropped rates, we fell. Curious of your opinion on that, and then let's do some TA.
Yeah, I think what happens is it strengthens the dollar sometimes, and if it strengthens the dollar, can you help me share my screen? If it strengthens the dollar, then that can be bad for risk on assets. But right now we can actually look that Dixie is not doing great. So I don't know. I feel like drones from Iran to Israel wouldn't have that great of an impact on like the overall global markets, but I could just be fucking wrong. You know what I'm saying? And then you also could be setting up a very classic bull trap or bear trap scenario, because you do actually have some major areas. So I'd have to pull up some longer term charts and get into some boring stuff, but I can tell you this, based on past prior examples, and I think Crown covers this as well. If anybody wants to check out Crown's Crypto Cave, he's a great TA. It's who I learned from back in 2017, actually. No. His name's Eric Crown. And it's with a K. But anyway, there are some major areas of interest below us, and previously we've talked about 57,000 being like a midterm like retest of higher low, which sets you up to still make higher highs for the rest of the market. Closing your daily today below 62.6 doesn't look great, but you're so far below that it's like, okay, have you already put in a higher low because your last low was 59.6, right? So you're kind of in like this really weird area, and that's why I'm looking at this chart in particular, because this is the Bollinger Bands chart on the daily, and I like this one because we're at the bottom side band with volatility still like not really increasing, it's actually decreasing still, and we have a very consistent 63.6 for upside momentum on the daily, which implies that as long as you're below this number, that number continues to decrease until you capture it. So what you don't want to do is expand too far outside of your Bollinger Bands, or else you see like a capitulation event, right? So currently on the daily, you're already at higher volume, and the daily isn't even close to being over, right? The daily's not over for like another 8 hours. So it's actually 9 hours. So at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, the daily is over. Okay. Well, today's daily already has more volume than yesterday's daily, and we still have 9 fucking hours to go. So you come below this Bollinger Band and you start to expand volatility to the upside down. And you've got two major areas of interest. You've basically got 57K, which lines up with some midterm higher low targets that go back, I mean, every cycle pretty much. And then you have, as far as percentages go and area of importance, obviously the number's always different. And then you have where on the 26th, I think it was, that I had made mention that if we close the daily above 54,000, congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, you made it to the bull market, right? Why would I say that? Well, if you look at 54K and you go back, you'll see that in like late part of 21, when everything started to go to shit, one of the main areas that broke was 54,000. When you lost 54,000, you capitulated, and that one day you went below 54K and wound up bouncing at maybe it was 30,000 even or something like that. It was a huge $20-something thousand 24-hour period. And that bounce back to 40K is when alts claimed dominance and the alt rally began, and Bitcoin began its slow descent into the bear market, right? So we got that 54K. All right. Well, then this implies worst case scenario in the short term, if you're going to be bullish, is that you could retest 54K. So if you have a major area of interest at 57K, and that would be a technical higher low above 54K, or retesting 54K could solidify it as support for a, you know, multiple year time frame. And then this sends you back up into up only for maybe 5 months or 6 months or something like that. So you actually still have a lot of opportunity here to, if not get in right now with an entry because maybe it goes lower or whatever. Well, you know that this bottom side band is 60,519. So if you fall below, which is actually coincidental because you hit 60,525 on Binance today or Bitstamp, whichever chart this is, I guess it's Bitstamp. So you respected that bottom side band. So this implies going back below that bottom side band will open up volatility. If you were to close the daily below there, now it starts to look like a capitulation event. Capitulation event could be shallow, somewhere around 58.5 to 57K, which I know that's $1,500, but trust me, price is going to be fucking moving when you get down there. But anywhere inside of that $1,500 is a fair gamble. Below there, 54,000 basically has to hold up. Obviously, you can wick below, but you start closing even 4-hour candles below 57 or 54, and it starts to look pretty dire, right? There's a lot of people who have targets around like 52,000. So, in my opinion, you know, I do have a long open, right? Some of my position has been closed. Rest of my position is still open because I want to take profits because I don't know what's going to happen, right? But I did long pretty early, 60,700, and so look at us. We're a little bit ago before we started this, I took some profits off and set some higher stop losses. So at the end of the day, I'm, you know, it feels so easy for people to sell here, but if we actually go back to like Friday the 19th, 59,629, and then we go 2 days before that, 59,672. Those are within $50 of each other, and the moves are like 10% or 8%. So that's basically a double bottom, maybe, unless you go lower, right? And right now, you are higher low, $1,000 higher low, and you have a perfect area below you to know that you're kind of fucked, right? So it's like, if you're gambling, man, this isn't the worst place to take a shot in the dark. You know what I'm saying? Because you have a lot of information around you to help you understand what would maybe be your next opportunity to take that shot. So you just minimize your risk here. You know, you don't long the house at 61K, hoping that it doesn't go below 61 or 60,500, right? But at 57K, do you start considering a mortgage? Maybe, you know what I mean? At 54K, watch how the market reacts. Maybe by the time it gets to 57K, your mortgage will have gone through and you can risk your house. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you're not in the house risking part yet. It's like, we're not really there. But BlackRock has so much control over this market at this point also. I mean, do they necessarily have to let it go lower than 60K? You know, I made a tweet about that earlier too. These guys are wealthy, you know, and the amount of volume that came in on these 2 days that hit that 59.6 area and bounced hard, bro, there's a lot of volume there. So today's red candle still is what, 32.9 on Binance, so 32,900 Bitcoin volume. That last one was 70,000 Bitcoin volume, right? So you need to do double today's volume currently in order for you to basically have trumped that previous day, like higher low, which again is the 19th. I'm trying to say this with the least technical details I can so people understand what I'm trying to say. So basically, as long as you are not going below that wick at, let's just call it 59.6, especially on lower volume, then you might be putting in a trap right here. And I know it sounds crazy, Chris, how are you going to trap bears at 60,000 or 61,000? Bro, if Bitcoin's going to 84K over a couple months, like, you know, what the fuck? I mean, how low can you go? You know what I'm saying? Like, 64 to 84 would have already been devastating for like a bear, right? So to imagine that you caught a short at 61 or 60,400 or something like that, you know, because it wicks lower, right, but stays above 59.6, brother, that's painful, bro. You short anywhere down here and you wake up tomorrow to 66K, you're like, that is so painful. And I'm not suggesting the market bounces 10%, right, in the next 24 hours. But fuck, that's painful. So at this point, there's so much going on that I guess we need to see what happens with interest rates, and we need to see like the psychological reaction. It is possible that because you have speculation, that this is an opportunity to use psychology against people. And Hong Kong underperformed, right? And if we look down here, like NASDAQ's not doing great, but it, SP, Dixie. Well, if there's no news or there's no headlines, right? Okay, then are you just guessing based on what? Speculation. Okay. So then there's a psychology at play. Green candles make people buy, red candles make people sell. But you can't let the red candle get ahead of itself, or else now you trigger bots and stop losses and liquidations, right? So are you bullish, Anon? If you're bullish, then you should look at this and go, fuck, that's going to suck for the people who have to watch it go to 84,000 at some point, or 100,000. You know what I mean? You just have to look at it that way. And if you're playing leverage, well, tight stops. If it goes below 60,500, doesn't mean you're perma fucked. Don't put your whole balance at that rate, right? It's just a stop loss so that you can reassess. Who knows? Maybe it bounces from there and starts closing back above 61K and you want to long again. Okay, well, you know where your stop loss is, 60,500, right? So it's just a basis to protect yourself, because like, think about the people who might have went long at 63.2 last night or something, and they're like, oh, it'll be fine, it's not going below 62.5, and then they wake up at 60,800. Fuck. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
But yeah, that's the most basic analysis I think people need.
Yeah, I think that was perfect. I'm curious of how you feel about the term a lot of TradFi guys use, called sell in May and go away. Normally, it's been pretty sideways for the last, I don't know, I want to say since the last 2 months. Do you think we continue sideways here for the month of May and maybe a little bit of June as well?
So here's the thing: sideways, maybe; capitulation, maybe not. Can I tell you why?
Yeah.
Every halving cycle happens during an election year, and every May in every election year has been bullish as fuck and seen price go up. Every month, every May in every election cycle since Bitcoin has existed has had a green candle. You can go, anyone who thinks it hasn't can check it out, right? So this is the only thing that makes it different, The only thing that makes it different is once every 4 years, it lines up with a political event, right? And I think there have even been some during the 2-year process that were positive. Why? Some people think because you can funnel campaign funds through the form of Bitcoin and Monero. I mean, I believe that too, but I don't want to speculate. I used to have fun with it, but people took it really seriously. But like, the idea here is like, I mean, who the fuck do you think the Mexican cartel would sell the Monero to, right? If not politicians through Bitcoin, right? Like, come on, are you fucking serious? Like Houdini swap with Monero and Bitcoin's just flowing through that in like November of every election cycle. That's not just kind of weird. So the conspiracy, listen, you could probably convince me that we went to the moon in a different way than we probably did, or didn't, right? Before you can convince me that there's not at least some motherfuckers that are bribing politicians using cryptocurrencies, right? So I accept that. If you donate dollars to a campaign, there's a limit on how many you can donate, right? But you could give a motherfucker as many Bitcoins as you wanted. So it's like very interesting. And I like that. I like that idea. So why does May during the election cycle usually bear positive fruit? Not sure. This would be a perfect monthly to scare the fuck out of people who are invested for a long-term horizon, or people who got in over their head, or maybe that are losing money on other assets. They're just de-risking in general. Okay, well, if you can foresee that a market, and I'm just speaking out of, pure theory here, but if I'm a big market maker or a group of market makers that, because this is an unregulated space, so insider trading is not really that, much of a deal. Is it possible that I would say, okay, we need to time this where it feels like they need to de-risk everything and set up the psychology for the May go away, because not everybody's looking at every May of every election cycle, right? It's not very common. So it's like, all right, well, then how do we know? Okay, well, let's bring it down to the daily and let's look at where volatility starts to expand here. It'll start to expand below 60,500. All right, well, we happen to already put in a low today around that area. So if that's going to hold up, then we've already tested it. There's no reason to go below it if it's going to hold, because we've already tested it. So if you go back below that area, then what's going to happen? One of two things. You're either going to put in a double bottom, maybe you could call it even a triple bottom, which you barely ever fucking see, at 59.6, or you're going to go fill that area of major interest at 57K, maybe just below. So, like, I think that 57K is the one that I subscribe the most to, but if I am very willing to buy at 57K and even more willing to buy at 54K, then what is the market maker's incentive to send it to 57 or 54K? If I'm just planning to buy there. So they would only be doing it to increase their position. So if you're selling Bitcoin right here, knowing that people are going to buy at 57 to 54K, and you plan to buy between 57 to 54K, motherfucker, are you selling Bitcoin right now so you can accumulate more? That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not like they're selling it to extract the money and go away in May. It feels like they're trying to sell it to get people who don't have the resources out, and then allow, you know, if they're going to allow me to buy at 57 or 54, then they damn well are going to be buying in between those ranges themselves, right? Yeah. So like at the end of the day, it just doesn't add up for me that we're going to break down below, you know, $50,000 and the market's over. Well, okay, if Bitcoin starts to go below 57,000 and dominance starts to drop, I am going to long the fucking shit out of Sol, ETH, Chainlink, Doge probably, maybe not Doge as much because it's pretty strong already, but like, dude, ETH is weak as fuck right now, and Sol has lost a lot of its Satoshi pairing, and Chainlink is like the little engine that could. When other assets start pumping, Chainlink just says me too. So it's like these are things I'm looking at for leverage longs if we start to see Bitcoin come down further, so basically below 60K, and dominance drops with it, which I guess just super quickly for 30 seconds I can show people the Bitcoin dominance BTC.D chart. If you do see Bitcoin come below 60K and dominance is dropping, then you go and you look at something like ETH to BTC or Sol to BTC, and you see if they're bouncing. If they're bouncing, then what you might, and this might be bad news long term, but you're probably seeing a rotation from Bitcoin to alts, and the alts are going to have a rally against Bitcoin to extract more liquidity before what? Before the show is over for an undetermined period of time. Yeah. So like, okay, if Bitcoin is going lower and it's not going to bounce hard, then this implies that you have to get one more extraction event out of the market. And if you feel that you've already fully extracted the potential value you can out of Bitcoin, then you have to start rotating into alts so that you can get more USD out of this market. Because taking USD out of this market is doable, but for certain entities, it's very difficult. It's easier if it's, you know, Bitcoin comes down, you have lots of Bitcoin or Tether, inject that into alts go up, retail who've lost a lot of money on Bitcoin or otherwise can't afford Bitcoin or are only here for the memes, they come into that. Now you have retail liquidity that is no longer in Bitcoin into these altcoins. Now you can extract that value and then capitulate Bitcoin harder. Yeah, so if the market's going to end, alts will fucking rally soon as fuck. So that'll offer us a bunch of opportunity to make some more money before we have to open a big short. But if Bitcoin dominance isn't dropping, then that means Bitcoin is likely going to bounce at one of these major areas if it hasn't already put in its low at 60,500, which I'm not suggesting it has. I mean, I am really optimistic to buy at 57K, but am I opening a short right here? No, you know, I scalped a short last night that I wish I would have left open. You guys would be so mad at me if you knew where I opened my last short at and where I closed them at. But it was above 64 and I closed it right above 63. So, you know, me thinking, hey, we get this bounce around 62.8, 62.9. I'll have a stop loss at 62.5. Hopefully don't go below 62.6. And we did, right? So for me, I woke up like, fuck, okay, well, all the money you made in the short, you just lost in the long. So what's your decision? You know what I mean? Like, what are you going to do now? And so, you know, longed around here, and I've already taken half of those profits, and half my position is still open. Tight stop, 60,500. Not financial advice, but I'm gambling, you know. Chris,
there's
where
three
would
charts.
you short? I just won't fucking short. I just won't short. I will just wait for Bitcoin to bounce on lower dominance, and I will long alts, or I will fucking long Bitcoin and just keep stopping. Motherfucker, it will go up again one day. I don't care how long it takes. No, I just
Get out of this short. There's actually three charts I was curious if you could look at for me. The one was total 3. I'm sure you look at that one pretty often. Could you explain what that one is, and could you take a quick look at it?
Which one is it?
Total 3.
Oh, total 3. You know what? I actually never look at total 3.
Really?
I think total 3 is like the all, isn't it? It's like all of them.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, it's basically the market cap of
600.
crypto.
Yeah. Of alts, I think. Because Bitcoin itself is higher than 609, right? And I suppose total 3 could help assess like if the alts are rallying all at once, but like for me if ETH to BTC, SOL to BTC, or Link to BTC are doing well, then I know that the alts are probably moving in tandem, and I can look at Bitcoin dominance dropping and feel confident in that assessment. When Doge to BTC is going up strong, though, it's a pretty liquid token. So what ends up happening is these other like almost all the other mid caps actually suffer under the weight of Doge. It actually pulls away from their Bitcoin pairings. And then when ETH starts to rally hard, it can pull away from everything's pairings as well. So like dominance in ETH to BTC tell me about all I need to know. But if something like SOL is going green, it is liquid enough and popular enough to pump independently. And the way that an altcoin will pump independently of the market is because the Satoshi value is rising, even though the Bitcoin value is not. You know what I'm saying? So it keeps going up in dollar value, even though Bitcoin and ETH are like sideways or whatever. And if you are going to stay sideways between maybe 60,000 and 62,000, that is actually a perfect time to lose some dominance and rally the alts, because they are fucking substantially lower than oh shit, I'm on the wrong chart. You don't even see the stuff I'm doing here.
No,
I'm fucking clicking a totally different chart. Dude, you got to stop me because I forget that it's only showing one at a time. I was using a totally different chart. But anyway, Bitcoin dominance, which you can see is actually up on the day. Yeah. But if Bitcoin dominance comes down, ETH to BTC goes up. That's basically how it works. And then you just watch where that liquidity is flowing. Right now, Bitcoin obviously has strong dominance, but it's at the midline. So if we're going to stay here, hopefully we rotate into alts, and hopefully we get some gains off of those, is how you would want to look at it. And maybe it'll positively affect ordinals, right? Runes and ordinals all seem more affordable right now when Bitcoin is less money.
I'm not mad at it. I'm definitely hoping to get some more ARSIC under 20 sats for sure. There's one more chart I want you to look at. So there's a black swan on the horizon that not many people are talking about, and that's the Japanese economy. The Japanese economy right now is looking really bad. It actually did have a bounce back, but I'm curious of your opinion on a technical analysis of JPY-USD. If Japan goes through this crisis, it is going to be really bad. And I was curious, like, so Japan has like their interest rates is 0, right? So what a lot of people are doing, they're borrowing from Japan and then locking it in US Treasuries at 5%. Right, so you borrow at 0, you lock it in at 5%, and I think they're afraid of the United States dropping rates, because if that happens, that they're making less and a lot of people are going to start selling these treasury bonds, and if that starts to happen, then Japan could really, really get into a really serious issue. Looking at this chart, and if you want to look at it your way, if you want to grab your screen
down
again,
only, dude.
So are you saying this thing fall even further than where it is now?
It looks down only, but I also don't know how much money it takes to fix it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know enough about Japan's overall GDP, but you've definitely made a lower low here.
Yeah, and that's pretty scary.
Lower low.
And
I
that could be a
mean,
black swan that
maybe.
no one's really talking about right now. Japan's the
Why?
third
Why would
largest
you
nation.
go ahead? Yeah, but I mean, how much of it is tied up in USD? You think,
Well, it's a lot of it's locked up in treasuries, and if Powell comes
like
out
our
tomorrow
bonds,
or
right?
anytime's, yeah. So if they start dropping rates on these bonds, you could see a sell off, which
I
is going
mean,
to make the
dollar does
USD
look a
fly
little
up.
shitty. Yeah,
Yeah.
dollar looks a little
So
shitty right now, so that sell-off could be bullish for our economy. But yeah, how does that translate to risk on assets? Usually not well, right?
exactly
We actually have a weekly sell signal popping up here. Interesting.
a weekly
I wonder
sell.
what the yeah, but the volume's pretty low. Of course, we still got quite a ways to go. Well, fuck, man. Huh. The last buy signal was sick, dude. The last buy signal
Yeah.
on the weekly was at a high of 30,400. You know what I'm saying? And now it's opened its first. This is the first sell signal we've had on the weekly since that buy signal.
Well, that's not good.
Midline's 55,607. How perfect is that, dude? Midline on
Yeah.
the weekly is absolutely perfect, and that would have volatility start to kind of reset itself to the middle section, which on the weekly is less relevant. You also have 69,422 as like your big area for momentum, but at 65.5, you're actually back in the green on your MACD, which is lagging. So that probably plays into maybe like 2 month price action or something. So if you were to get above like 65.5 at any time in the near couple weeks, you'd probably be set up for like another month or two of positive price action, which could set you up to a new high, and then that would set you up for like 4 or 5 more months of good price action. So there's a lot of positive things that can happen in this market if things are less chaotic than they seem. But like you're suggesting, there are a bunch of things that could go wrong, and this is why being able to short these assets is good. But at the end
Yeah.
of the day, some of the bounces are going to be very predictable, and overall, the just overall trend of Bitcoin is bullish. So for me, instead of trying to like short too hard at these areas, I'm more interested in like looking for an opportunity to maybe buy bounces and scalp those bounces. Like
Yeah.
if I can buy a $2,000 or $3,000 bounce and then take profit and then wait for it to either pull back or consolidate on higher price action, then I can always make a new decision. You know what I mean? So for
100%.
me, volatility offers some opportunity, but this doesn't seem comfortable right here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
it's definitely uncomfortable. And that chart for JPY looked atrocious. But I have
Yeah.
to assume that's how like CAD looks. You know what I'm saying? Like I assume odd looks that way, and those are
They don't.
surviving countries.
They don't. That's the thing.
CAD's
Japan
not
is
that
is
bad.
really no. Japan's really getting wrecked. Like this is the worst it's been in over 20 years.
How bad's CAD look? Dude, CAD looks pretty bad though. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's true.
Japan's putting in a new low, dude. CAD has not. CAD is possibly putting in a higher low, which Canada
Yeah.
needs it. Japan is on a new low. For the daily, what's the weekly look like? Oh yeah, way worse. So
Yeah.
yeah, the weekly's even worse. Like the fact that you couldn't hold here is really bad. But I just don't. I mean, it's
Yeah.
really hard to speculate on how financial issues in other economies are going to affect us. Like people are always worried about these proxy wars and shit too, and it's like
Yeah.
yeah, but at the end of the day, I mean, these guys can just print fucking money and just buy whatever they want. So
Yeah.
if these assets are getting sold, it's in preparation to reaccumulate them, because that's how like the money, like that's how the world works. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So these companies can capitulate as hard as they want out of SP 500, NASDAQ,
Yep.
Dixie, right? They can sell as much as they fucking have. Inevitably, they're going to buy back into it. It's like at some point, it's going to be a price where everyone agrees that selling does no longer make sense. So for me to think about Japan maybe being a black swan event, maybe it's an opportunity, but I mean, black swan
Yeah.
event the way like insolvency across the board for like all these cryptocurrency exchanges was for Bitcoin. No, I mean that's different. And think about other countries that have had their currencies capitulate. these
Yeah.
people tend to actually start believing a little bit in Bitcoin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And like, so there's a counter argument to there as well, which makes me feel that the U.S. might step in, right, and start buying Japan treasury bonds, right, which would help their economy, and we would print money, right? If they're buying them at this low, potentially, they go higher after that. That's an easy buy for them. And that's the thing too. So we might potentially drop rates, but at the same time start buying Japanese treasury bonds, which would accelerate their economy a little bit, and which will allow them to higher their rates as well. So we could drop rates so they higher rates, but we potentially buy their bonds, right? Which would the money printer will go burr, which would kind of lead us into the presidential race, which the money printer going even more burr, which will leave us into more inflation. Powell coming out and saying we're okay with 3%, 4% would be it would be a mess, but 3% we're okay with, which takes them out of that 2% range and gets us into a new range, which allows them to drop rates even further and continuously have the money printer go, which would be the next amazing catalyst for Bitcoin. Do you see anything like that happening potentially?
I think that that's like maybe the only thing that can happen, right?
Yeah.
It's Shizzy. It's either that or like a global economic disaster. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
they,
It's one way or the other there. Oh man. Is there any other charts that you've been looking at? Anything you want to go over?
Dude, Bitcoin dominance is all I gotta fucking look at. It's like I need Bitcoin dominance to come down, and then I can get interested in some alts. I'm really not interested in shorting anything here. I'd rather just let the market capitulate and me find an easy long. I mean, Chainlink's like one of the only things that I am like entertaining gambling on, just because it's like it is doing okay. I mean, I know it looks like it's not, but fuck, dude. And with Bitcoin how it is, it does look like it's doing okay. But the whole market can just shit itself, and that's okay too. I mean, don't want to see Solana back below 0.002.
Yeah.
None of the rest of this is, I'm just fucking amazed that WIF is anywhere near above $2. Like, it's crazy. And I'm thinking about narratives that could be painted here, but I suppose you just need this maybe monthly to close. I mean, my gut tells me trap, but when you start accepting defeat, that's usually like when victory is right around the corner. You know what I'm saying? You have to you have to you have to make everyone non-believer. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone has to become a pessimist. And if you can push everyone into pessimism, then you can basically manipulate their emotions to make decisions that are beneficial to you. And we are dealing with people who do this on a daily basis in the Web 2 world, and do it with marketing and real estate and everything else. And now these individuals are involved in cryptocurrency. So we are kind of playing by their rules, but I think that they've painted a narrative that has to be at least justifiable throughout the rest of the year. And I think that one ETF, approval has this chain reaction, and we have all this success. That all can't just go away within a month or two. Or else that looks bad on everybody, not just us. It looks bad on BlackRock. It looks bad on everybody, right? So use your fucking infinite money glitch. Create a narrative that shows you the most biases, and give everyone an opportunity to lose their house and their wife and everything one more time. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. I don't feel like you gave me a chance to like lose my family, right? Like, where's the gamble? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck, dude?
I don't want to play
Look,
that
I
game.
am not even close to financially ruined yet. Like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. Come on. That's not how this game is played.
All right. Well, on that note, let's jump to our next thing here. I want to play a little bullish or bearish with you. Last time you were on the show, we played this game with the collections. I would like to kind of do that real quick. I'm going to run through the top 10 runes here really quickly, and you just tell me bullish or bearish. If you want to give a reason why, that's fine. If not, we can just go to the next one. But decentralized, bullish or bearish?
Oh, sorry about that.
No, it's
forgot.
okay.
I have, what time is it? Okay, I got 15
You got something
minutes.
to do? All right.
Yeah, and then I
Let's
have
run through
another
real
one
quick.
at 1. Been on a lot of calls. I'm really I mean, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about it, but I love the name.
Okay.
I feel like CyberKongz came in late, but I'm okay with it, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, not that I'm like, not that I encourage other projects to do it, but I think that they are just like, they did something really cool in the early stages on ETH, and they
Yeah.
do kind of get it. And I could see how maybe they're feeling bored, and this is unique and interesting to them. Obviously, I've experienced something similar. So I mean, yeah, I don't want anyone to like go rush into it because of my opinion, but I am kind of just bullish on it. Not, I don't know. I'm not bearish on it. How about that? I'm
Okay.
not like,
Even
I don't
better.
hold like a big bag, but I'm definitely not bearish on it. Obviously, RSIC,
Gotcha.
I'm pretty bullish on. You know what I'm saying?
So bullish on RSIC. Obviously, you're just bullish on with, those guys in general. They'll go to the moon. Bullish or bearish?
I still don't know how I feel. I mean, I
Okay.
don't like the ticker, right? But as far as like holding it or being part of that movement, I'm kind of, I guess, I'm really optimistic, right? Like
Okay.
it seems, I don't know what a fair price is for it, right? So much volatility with the rune stones,
Yeah.
and so I kind of need to let, like, I'm not opposed to investing in Doggo to the moon, but I would
Yeah.
really like to see maybe a little bit more shakeout happen or a little more consolidation. You know what I'm
That makes
saying? Like,
sense. Yeah.
I don't know what a fair price is. This
Can
pay
this
who
be our
thing,
whiff?
not into.
Can this be our
No. Well, I
whiff?
mean, I don't know.
No.
Anything's possible, right? But
Okay.
like, something like a bonk or a whiff are so
Yeah. Lightning in the bottle.
yeah, like it's so hard to force that, dude.
Yeah.
It just either happens or it doesn't, you know.
Yeah. So you said
Feihu, I'm not, you know, to me that seems like it's a preposterous market cap as it is. You know what I
yeah.
mean? 2.4 billion. That's ridiculous. Maybe Satoshi Nakamoto, right? I've got a small
Yeah.
bag. I feel like a bunch of people. Um, let's see. Sorry, I have to tell them that they're doing all kinds of math. It's the devs.
It's all good.
All right. I don't know anything about Bush did 9/11, but that's a banger ticker, dude. And I've seen people like Clark all up on Dope Grandma Coin.
Yeah.
As far as Wenko Manko goes, absolutely hate it, but I'm sure that it'll be profitable because it's so crazy. You
Yeah.
can't describe something to me as the most human-like vagina on a dog, and me just ignore that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't
Yeah.
ignore that, brother. That's a tough one for me. It's like I'm not shitting on the token by any means, but that is a crazy way to describe anything. Uh so it just immediately I'm like, I
Dude, I'm
can't
like crying.
participate.
Okay.
I can't
A-
participate.
Anarcha Cat Bus.
Bad bitch dressed up in a furry suit wants to get freaky in New York. Like, I hear you, right? But this is different, dude.
Yeah.
That's different. They're actually talking about a dog. So
Yeah.
wait, hold
What
on.
about
Why'd you go to
this one right
Intergalactic?
here? What do you think about this one? Are you bullish or bearish on this one?
I think
I know
there's a
you're real
lot of
close to the fin.
arbitrage that's about to exist that people are going to find out about in the next week or two. No, go back to the top runes. I Anarcho Cat Bus was the next one,
Yeah. That
right?
was no, that was
Uh,
the top 10.
Yeah, Gob is dope.
Yeah.
Z bit. Come on, go down to 20, dude. Let's see here. Oh,
Okay,
Mr.
we'll go down to
Yin,
20.
Japanese businessman. Look, how would we have ever gotten to Mr. Yin, Japanese businessman? Which I think is awesome. Listen, I minted some panda shit, fuck, I don't even know how to say the word. Biguan, I don't know, some kind of
Yeah.
panda head thing with like the meme, because one of the guys who's like runs one of the Chinese communities was like, oh, this meme is super popular, and then we see Mr. Yin, Japanese businessman, do very successful, and I'm hoping that things like that can drive interest to some of these sleepers like the panda things
Yeah.
and shit, because it's so fun and you need something that translates well. One thing I'm getting feedback from the Chinese community is some of this shit doesn't translate very well,
I'm
right?
getting the same thing. Yeah.
Bitcoin Pepe Matrix doesn't translate that well to Chinese. Intergalactic does. Decentralized does. The concept of dog go to the moon kind of does, right? R6 token is kind of a basic name, so it's digestible. But that's a real big hang up here, is that you know, what has the ability to translate across languages, and what also could be positioned on an exchange or something like that.
Well, one thing about RSIC though, it's a meta protocol being built on top of Runes, right? That's what I'm getting from it. It's the first one that's building a actual ecosystem on top of Runes is already built, right? There's obviously there's connection between Raktoshi and Casey. Some people think that Raktoshi was a big part of creating Ordinals to begin with, and then they had a fallout, and that's why, you know, he's number 127, whatever inscription or whatever it was. So I think that's kind of why R6, in my opinion, is going to be amazing and $1 billion market cap, and not because it's a meme or needs that, but it's actually will have eventually have some use case of something they're building. So, but yeah, man, I will let you go because I know you have you are something in a few minutes here. You probably have to get ready for, right?
Founder districts are finishing their airdrops, and there's like one wallet that has 108, and he's like, "Are you sure this is right?" And I said, "I don't think it is. It's probably Merlin. It might be bitmap.community." You know what I'm saying? It's probably not. If any of you are founder districts here, there are hundreds of new assets to customize the outside and inside of your instances, and there's a bunch of new stuff that we're working on for the public districts to get added and the uploading of the avatars, but everything's been cleaned up. There's a lot more customization. We're about to open up the town square to be more like a portal, working on the map. We're going to install at least the assets for it soon so that people know that it's coming. A couple partnerships will go live very soon, and we're just finishing the integration of the Runes token before we drop you your 3D assets and let you use the first play to earn game loop for your champions inside of Bitmap Valley. So lots of stuff happening. They've got lots of questions. Also have to try to integrate Magic Eden's wallet pretty quickly on the Bitcoin side, because it makes it really easy to swap between the chain's tokens. And then I'm trying to get them to send me the test flight information for their mobile app that they're testing right now with people, because I'm wondering if I can convince Magic Eden wallet to let me flip the phone into landscape mode, because right now with Xverse and Phantom you can't do that, and that actually makes it kind of challenging to develop a game for crypto wallet if you can't enter landscape mode, because then you're very limited on what you can build and make it accessible. So fucking love you guys. If anybody has any more questions about TA, or they want to come laugh at me, you can do it in Discord, and I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you, and we got to do it again soon.
Take care. See ya.
All right, guys, you're just stuck with me now. I'm gonna be some Q&A, throw some stuff in the chat what you guys want to talk about. I did see some stuff from earlier, but that was amazing, man. Chris is an amazing TA guy, and I had all my questions answered. I hope you guys enjoyed that very much, because I did. When Yago B wasn't here, I was like, I'm gonna have Chris on, because I want to get some TA stuff, right? So that was kind of my enjoyment. So I apologize if you guys ain't really TA guys, but it's nice to kind of see what they're looking at, right? They look at charts all goddamn day long. So being able to have someone like that on the show and really sit one-on-one with me and kind of really break things down is pretty amazing. Let's see if we have any questions here. Yago B usually does this, but I'll do it today. John says Shizzy got wrecked on his Merlin long. I did, but I only lost like $200. No big deal. No. Who else we got here? Yo, I thought great long. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good long there too. Apparently not, but it's all good. Wasn't sure Bitcoin was gonna take the dip that it did. Who else we got here? Shizzy in the house. John says, I told you, Shizzy, you are a top signal. Hey, we'll see, man. I don't know. I've been wrong lately, but I've been right a lot, so we'll see. Let's see. Can make some questions. Let's see. Yazir says, hey, Chris, nice taste of hair matching his shirt logo. And we have Cheedy says, Shizzy, is there any extra thing that you need to be able to trade the Surf protocol? Because my WCBT balance and collateral fees won't highlight after. So I think you're having the same issue I had yesterday. Just change WBTC to BTC. It's not I thought it was the same thing. It's not called wrap BTC there, it's called BTC there. And if you have any more questions, you can DM me at Shizzy Sats on X, and I can walk you through that. But I think that's your issue, Chidi. I think you just got to change WBTC to BTC, and then everything should highlight for you. what other questions we got here? Waiting for them to be released. Are Bitmap Valleys in the seal not getting their share? Oh, that's actually a question probably for Jeff. We're gonna have Jeff on the show next week. So if you guys want any questions answered from him, definitely show up to that. That should be fun. We're not sure if we're gonna do it live or record it yet. Probably do record it, but we'll let you guys know. But if not, you guys can just tell us and we'll start writing down your questions for him, which would be awesome. He's gonna come in here, answer a lot of questions. So that's awesome. I kind of want to go over a few things. So now that everything kind of calmed down with Merlin and with Runes, I'm kind of looking at other things right now. And yesterday, for the first time in a long time, I went and I bought some track. So I've been talking to some other investors, and they got a lot coming. Benny has built like a lot in the last couple of months while his head down building. He has actually a big team now. He has a facility, a team. Definitely getting bullish on track now. The reason I was bearish on track was because of Santiago and because of TapX, but TapX is kind of in the back end there now. So definitely definitely starting to get bullish now that Cassidy, or whatever he wants to call himself now, Santiago, is now going from there. Because I think the big problem with Tap was Benny kind of going with Santiago and kind of helping those guys, and a lot of other people who were building exchanges and stuff kind of stayed away from there, right? And then Ordinals Wallet came in, so again, it was no incentive to build over there. Now there's actually starting to be a lot of incentive, especially in the Tap ecosystem. And if they, apparently they're going to be dropping a wallet soon. They're going to be, and they got some pretty heavy investors with Karma, those guys at Sora Ventures, and the guys at Scree Labs. We had Scree Labs on the show. Very bullish on those guys. So I don't know. I think it's time to start looking around. That's what the show is all about. Obviously we're going to always trend to what is happening, but definitely track is definitely something that we are starting to get really bullish on. And we are going to be talking to these guys right here. The Launch Punks. They are a potential launch pad on track. So they're going to be on the show. Hopefully soon we have a conversation about the show, and then we're going to hopefully get those guys on the show. Very bullish on what they're building. Very bullish. Starting to get bullish on Tap. We had a conversation with the guys at Traverse. They're building over there. The Ghosty guys are still building over there, and it's been really quiet. But then a lot of them got the heads down building. So yeah, I know it's probably sound crazy, and I never really trashed track though. It was really all my hatred was towards Santiago and Tap, and the fact that Benny was supporting them. But that's actually not happening anymore, and it's kind of getting me a little bit more bullish on what they're building, and the fact that I think Ivan on Tech. Ivan on Tech actually speaks about Tap pretty often. He hasn't done it in a while, but I'm sure that he will. And if he can get people over there and get people to start using this wallet, and that wallet is the biggest thing to me. That's what really sparked my attention. Them being able to have their own launchpad, them have their own wallet, all the dApps and stuff right on that wallet, whether it be like some type of Xverse fork or just something, right? And then have everything that you need to do with the track assets on there and the Tap assets, and they're going to be potentially wrapping track and moving it to over there as well. That being one of the top tokens, that because they are building a decentralized indexer, something that we truly need and we always need it. So we will see. I'm not going to sit here and put all my marbles on, but I did. I bought track at 7 cents, 11 cents, 30 cents. And I was sold around $3, $4, $5. And now I'm kind of re-entering that position down at, I think we're at $1 something, $1.85, $2, somewhere around there. Definitely getting bullish on track. I thought I'd let you guys know. I made this decision over the weekend. I was sitting there doing a lot of research. I sat at my desk for like 8 to 12 hours, and I really started digging in to a lot of the stuff. And that's when I really got introduced to the Launchpads guys here, Launch Punks. So we will see what they're building. That was big. There's a lot of builders over there now. But if there's any questions, throw them in the chat here. I'm going to take a look at some stuff because I haven't actually checked out Ordinals Wallet in a really long time to check out the prices of what's going on over there. That really being the only place that you can trade these track assets. And that's going to change. That's going to change real soon. So let me share my screen here. So over here, let's see what here, and I noticed too they did have some Tap Nat token back in the top 12 here over here. So and that they're competing with things like Pups and like Prometheans and R6. So I mean, it's definitely something to really start looking at here. Let's see, Tap Gib in the back in the top 12 as well. So you guys have been buying. They definitely have been buying. What's up, Tree City? Tree City West is in the building. Tree City actually has a YouTube channel, so check him out. Huge fans of that. Watch that pretty often. What else we got? Yeah, Bitmap's really getting hit hard, man. This is potentially becoming a really good buy signal coming up. I'm wondering if they can get under that 0.001 mark, and if they get there, man, I might back up the truck, start buying the Bitmaps, because I think Benny and Bitoshi is apparently over there working with those guys. So if they can really get some stuff together, Bitmaps could do really well in the track ecosystem again. And yeah, so we will see with that. But if you go in here and just type in tap, oh, I did buy some minus tap yesterday too. Minus tap is like I was looking at it around $1 about a few months ago. I looked at it yesterday, it was about 20 some cents. So I picked up a big bag of that as well. So I'm definitely buying again. You can't buy it over here, but you can buy it on oh yeah, SatX. I forgot about those guys. SatX.io. This is the better marketplace. Ordinals, while it's cool and all, but SatX is actually, to me, the better place to buy. There's not as much volume though as there is over on Ordinals, while, but they definitely have some here. Yeah, look at minus tap, guys. What is 13 cents now? Wow, this thing is dropping hard here. You get 1,000. I paid $1,000 for 1,000 at one point. Wow. Absolutely amazing. And they're dropping their tap token. And minus tap was the first tap token. People think that it was tap, but no, it was minus tap. And then we're definitely looking at that and stuff. Can I grab that? I can't grab that. It was not letting me grab it, but yeah, I can't see that. Sorry, Launch Punks, I won't let me grab it to copy it. Maybe I can grab it on the YouTube really quick. Yeah, but Tab SatX right here is probably one of the bigger launches. They have everything. They have the Karma token. They got Sora and all that stuff. But I'm just gonna see if I can grab that ticker there. Yeah, we got 265 people watching here. We appreciate you guys. Let me see if we can find that. I don't see it actually from the Launch Punks. Oh, because it's on X. Yeah, sorry, Launch Punks guys. I can't see it. But RPG Traverse here. Yeah. We have a meeting with the Traverse guys, man. They potentially coming on to help those guys out would be awesome. We'll see. Yeah. And this is, and they do also a lot of other stuff here on SatX. Huge fans of these guys, man, for sure. But if there's no other questions, guys, we got a new subscriber here, Crypto Cats. Welcome to the show. We appreciate you so much. We've got a bunch of new subscribers lately, and it's been awesome. Thank you. It's been incredible. But guys, just want to I'm gonna get out of here a little early today because there's not many new questions in the chat. And I thought Chris was gonna hang out a little longer, but he was backed up with some stuff, so didn't have anything prepared for this. But I appreciate you guys watching us. 275 people watching right now. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Definitely want to continue this conversation with about the track and stuff, and I think we will. But yeah, that's our show, guys. Appreciate you guys. Go check out ordinalrevolution.com. We have some of the best articles there. If you are going to Bitcoin Nashville, we will be in Bitcoin Nashville. If we have a 20% off coupon if you want to get into the event there. So definitely hit that out. That definitely helps the show. And if you're going to Bitcoin Nashville, make sure you guys have some of the Ordinals gear on. This is not from us. Make sure it's from someone else, but we definitely have some of the best gear there. And join our members program. It's in the show notes on YouTube. You just click it. It's not much each month. So it's some lunch money, but it could be fun. We're gonna do some lives in the future. It should be there. We did one on Sunday, and it was great. We definitely had a lot of people. Yazir was in there. A lot of you guys are in there, and it was awesome. And it was really it was cool because it was very one-on-one, and we got a lot of questions answered. We showed you guys what we're doing in our personal portfolios and stuff like that. But that's a show, guys. We appreciate you guys so much, and we will see you tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow, and we'll get some little back to normalcy. But we will see, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.
We OG, or no OG. not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro.
Run stuff.
Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nuki on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me.